What's up, y'all? Welcome to Bionic Muay Thai Life. I'm Dan. This is my son Lex. This is a relaunch of the channel. It's actually been around for some time. I started the channel. Didn't really put it to use because I really want people up in my business. Um, I did the Instagram thing. It was more so when I was actively fighting. I'm a professional fighter. Haven't fought in a few years. Trainer now. I teach Muay Thai. I go by the name of Bionic Fist of Justice. That was my ring name, cage name. Yeah, corny, but it sticks. I like it. Um, so Bionic Muay Thai Life is my program, Bionic Muay Thai, and the life of myself as a fighter, father, and everything else. When I was fighting and outside, my son Lex is joining me on this journey now. So a little bit of backstory, real quick, before we get down to it. Um, like I said, myself, I've been a professional fighter for a good many years now. Muay Thai, boxing, kickboxing, MMA. Probably most notably in MMA, but my passion and my true style is really my specialty is Muay Thai. Um, I hadn't fought in a few years, so I got more so wrapped up in being a trainer, being a coach. Um, Actually, when I moved here to Florida, I live in Florida now in Orlando. When I made the move down here, I thought I was going to be getting back to fighting professionally. But COVID had different plans in mind. I moved here in the beginning of 2019. COVID kicked in like a year after that, less than a year. So I was rebuilding my business as a trainer. Things started to go pretty well. COVID kicked in and threw everything upside down. I had to make some adjustments. I had to pivot a little bit, focus more on my finances. Even before I moved down here, that was kind of the focus when I made the decision to move. It took me about 6 months to from the time I made the decision. Actually, it was exactly that. June 1st, 2018, I made the decision to move from Pittsburgh to Orlando. June 1st, 2019, I was pulling up in Orlando. So the last 6 months, I was grinding pretty hard. Went from being the coach that participates actively with his students, with his private clients, usually with my clients if I'm training them. Anything I can participate in, I do. I did it. Any workouts I'm carrying them through, I do. When I'm teaching classes, if it's anything that doesn't prevent me from actively giving instruction, I participate. So if we're doing drills, I'm partnering up with them unless I'm actively watching and correcting. Sparring days, I'm sparring every round. Strength and conditioning, doing it all. So in that process, it kept me in pretty good shape even when I wasn't competing. By the time I made the decision to move to Orlando, I kicked up the work side of it even more. I wasn't training with my clients anymore, wasn't training with my students, wasn't sparring with the team anymore. Was more so focused on teaching my classes, passing on the information. And as soon as we're done, I was hitting the road. I started doing Lyft, Uber, um, just to make extra money to make the move. And I just kicked it on the high gear. I'm a workaholic by nature. And at that point, I really turned it up. In that process, maybe in that 6 months, I gained about 25 pounds. Just, being on the road all the time, driving, barely being active, teaching classes, not participating, and eating a lot of junk and bullshit foods, honestly. You know, that was really the big part. My diet went to shit, so I didn't take good care of myself. Moved down here, 27 pounds heavier. Started getting back in decent shape, working out, and found a really good MMA team down here, Fusion Excel, which is actually a good friend of mine, Phil Rowe, who's now in the UFC. He put me on with that crew, man, and welcomed me with open arms. I was able to go in and start sparring with them a bit. I really couldn't commit yet because I was still focusing on building my finances back up down here, rebuilding my business, gaining my clientele. Then COVID hit again, threw everything off. Had to make that pivot, focus more on my finances because of kind of wrecked the business I was rebuilding down here. I had to start all over again. In that process, trying not to be super long-winded here. In that process, after that, there came a point where my son Lex, both my sons were living with me. Lex, my older son Gabe, they both moved down here with me. Gabe decided he didn't like the heat down here, moved back up to Pittsburgh. Gabe is grown, so he made his decision, but it was cool. He spent some time down here. Lex went to visit his mom, who had moved to Hawaii at the time, and went to visit her for the summer, but the summer ended up turning into much longer Just it was a good situation over there. People were great, so we kind of like kept it a tentative thing. You'll just stay there for a bit longer, stay there for a bit longer, and it kind of still dragged out, and it being turned to a couple years. Where we expected to be back in a couple months, but in that process, it was cool. I went over there and visited him. I loved it over there, and I see why he does, see why his mom does. Um, Also met a great team over there as well. The Mango Tree Muay Thai, those guys are amazing. Welcomed me with open arms. Had some time to go train with them at least. So even though I was working here and hustling, really not taking care of myself, but when I go visit, that's when I train and actually get in better shape and it takes some time to work out. But otherwise, I wasn't taking care of myself. I focused on my clients, helping them be healthy and helping them train, but I really wasn't growing myself. And then right before Lex came here as well, I was kicked it into high gear again to hustle and get myself and everything prepared financially and focus on my investment as well. I was actively investing like the stock market, crypto market, and I had goals I wanted to hit along the way since COVID, and I've been able to hit almost all of them. I've got one left where I still have to get a bit more before I go even further. But working at that, then I said, when Lex gets back here, this will be my time to start focusing on myself again, my health, working out, getting back to my fitness journey of where I want to be, like extracting the potential for myself that I know I still have, and with the eventual plan to get back in the ring, get back in the cage, whether it's just a fight, a few fights, who knows, because that's what I'm really passionate about, and I feel like I haven't really extracted all the potential I had at the time. It didn't end the way I wanted it to because I hadn't intended for it to end at the time. I still wanted to do more. For Lex now, he's actually just recently begun his own fitness journey over in Hawaii, where he started working out on his own, and he's been in the gym with me as a kid. Both my sons have. They've trained with me, and I never really pushed them to compete or anything like that because that had to be a personal choice. I don't want to make them be what I wanted for myself to be. It was more so like just introduce them to it, let it help them develop as young men, develop the discipline, stuff like that, learn how to overcome difficulty, and at least know how to fight. Just basic, you know what I mean? And both my kids, they know how to handle themselves at least. But now Lex chooses to begin his own fitness journey back in Hawaii, where he's working out on his own, doing push-ups, squats, stuff like that. So hey, when he gets back here, it'll be a great time for us to do it together. For me to focus on getting myself back in shape. I got to the point where, actually even now, I actually have to sleep with it. I developed sleep apnea in the process of not taking care of myself like I used to. So I got to sleep with a CPAP machine now. I look like Bane or freaking Darth Vader when I'm sleeping. I want to get off of that, lose some more weight. You know what I mean? I was like 222 a few weeks ago. I actually got myself down to 208. I started working out again before he got here. But in like the last maybe week or so, I put back on a few pounds. He's been here for about a week now. No correlation. But yeah, we started our workout journey, and originally this video was supposed to be before all the workouts. We've actually been working out together for a week now, so it was like his intro week, so it wasn't as hard, just getting a baseline for him, like basic deadlift, push-ups, squats, bench press, stuff like that. So that's really it. We're gonna go into the video of what we were doing pretty soon, but I'm gonna let Lex just say what's up real quick and give his little synopsis about what's brought him here.
So I was coming back here with the idea in mind that I get to come and exercise. That was the main idea, and I was really looking forward to that because growing up doing it, exercising has always been like a natural part of life, and it's always been one of my favorite things to do. It's always been like a hobby to me. Not really, a hobby. It's always been fun. It's passion. It's a passion for me, right? I enjoy working out, but over time I started getting lazier and lazier, and I started growing more and more complacent, and I kind of put those things on the side in place of something more fun, like playing video games, eating, going to sleep, school, work sometimes. And I didn't realize how much I actually missed it until I stopped doing it. And I realized I started getting out of shape as well. Like, not looking like I'm getting out of shape, but like feeling like I'm getting out of shape. Like, I started not really being happy with the way I looked, right? And that's one of the big benefits of working out, because it also, you look better. And when you look better, you look in the mirror and see something that looks good, and it makes you feel good about yourself, right? And
You feel better.
right,
If you can look at yourself and be happy with what you see, it's a start. You know, if you
right,
physically feel better, you emotionally feel better, you mentally feel better. I've noticed the same thing for myself
right,
too.
right. And it just improves the quality of your life overall.
Absolutely. When you feel that, you feel like you have power within you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Not that you have to use it. It's just that you feel that you have it there when you need to.
Right.
And
It's like,
there's a difference between walking around feeling like a weenie and walking around feeling strong.
right. And it's like something as small as the difference between taking the car to go to the store and walking to the store makes you feel so much better.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it seems nicer to just take the car and skip the walk, but I promise, the walk, you feel so much better, even especially if you didn't want to.
Mm-hmm.
And you take that walk, you feel way better about yourself.
Yep, and that's like something we noticed the difference of. I know for myself, for myself being in martial arts for it's been 30 years, competing heavily since I was a teenager, training heavily since I was a teenager. When I was his age, I was training kickboxing. I was training with adults. I was the only kid there. I was the runt. There was no kids class I was training in. I was the 15-year-old training with the adults. So I'd be sparring with guys under their 20s. My coach was in his 40s. And I'd spend my time getting my ass whooped by these guys in the beginning until I could start handing out the ass whoopings myself. It was a long process, but I worked hard at it. I spent a lot of time with the training. I got used to being uncomfortable. And when you get used to living with discomfort and getting comfortable with it, it's like nothing else can stop you. So I had some times I got complacent with being comfortable. And that's generally when, things go astray for me. It's when I try to stick too far into my comfort zone, but I'm only growing when I'm outside of it. With my kids, they both got a chance to experience it. Again, that was something I made them do. So they get to understand what it's like to deal with discomfort and overcome it. So no matter what you're doing, if it's in school, work, whatever, you got nobody trying to punch you, kick you in the head. You got homework done. You got homework to do. Okay. Maybe overdue. You got tests coming up. Okay. That's stress. Yes. But it's not that physical stress of you having to run for another 5 minutes when you're already tired.
Mm-hmm.
Or you having to spar another 3 rounds when you're already tired. Or you sparring with the kid that's landing shots on you and you can't figure out how to overcome it. You got to figure it out because you still got 2 rounds left. So even for myself, again, overcoming discomfort or getting comfortable with discomfort makes a huge difference in my quality of life. So I said, hey, I got to go back to embracing this discomfort. Like I said, just to walk to the store.
Right.
It's a mile to the store. Okay, no big deal. We could drive there, but we could walk as well. Simple choices, right? To have a more active lifestyle. Even like, Wednesday when we went to work out. Right?
Didn't want to.
That was our second official day of like weight training. So we've gone, this is actually, again, at the end of our first week of lifting. Really, I want to do this video as an intro before we got down to that, but they've already done. We started the first week. Our first day was just push-ups, inverted pull-ups or inverted rows, ab work. That was our first basic day, just simple stuff. Well, deadlift was the first official workout day.
Oh, right.
I'm not an
right,
official
right.
workout, but first official
Like
weight training
gym.
day. Yeah, the first one we did was here, just at the house. I got a squat bar in my room, so we were doing push-ups, inverted rows on the squat bar, crunches, and ab wheel rollouts. You know what I mean? Then after that, first official training day, deadlift, kind of getting a baseline form, see what his basic strength is. With the deadlift, teaching basic form and technique. Nothing super heavy, nothing heavy at all, really. Just basic weight. Get him to have proper form first and foremost before we start trying to get heavier. But I told him his strength is going to improve crazily. He's going to see all those newbie gains is going to come up because he hasn't been pushing himself like this. And even now he feels it already. And it's only been what? Like I said, it's been a week. There's still some soreness. We did our first day, which is deadlift day. We got the video for all that. Deadlift, basic other like back and core work around it. Wednesday was bench press day. Said it was late in the day. We tried to sneak in like a quick workout towards the end of the day because I'd been out training clients earlier in the day. Came back home feeling tired, lazy, didn't feel like doing it at all. I really wanted to be like, hey, let's just do it tomorrow. But there's also that part of me as a father and having to be a leader. It says, got to do it today. Got to lead by proper example, not just not do it because you feel tired. You didn't feel like doing it either, but we did it. It actually came out feeling even better. We got there. Unfortunately, a lot of the weight machines was packed at the gym when we got there an hour before closing. So we had to find some other machines to work on. It was like basic chest, triceps, like find a machine that we could bench on, find something we could do triceps on. Then today was leg day, and it's supposed to be like, we're supposed to be teaching about a squat, but squat rack was always busy. So we ended up doing leg press. What was it, leg press? We didn't hit leg extensions at all.
No. It was leg press.
Yeah, it was another
calf
quick
raises.
one. Calf raises. It was another quick one we had to get in because we took mom to the store, took her grocery shopping, and it was like, okay, get in this book. Give what we can before we can. I got to go pick her up. And I think, well, we got that whole video, so that'll all be on part of that as well.
Yeah, I'll see it.
So after the first week, what are like your thoughts on just what we've gone through so far? Like the workouts we've done, individual days, individual workouts, your impressions of what you've done.
I say, I'm still sore. And that was on what, Monday?
Monday was...
The crunches and the...
Monday was the ab work.
No, it was Sunday.
No, that Sunday was the ab work. Sunday was the ab work, the push-ups, and the push-pulls.
So, right now, recording this, it's Friday of the first week. Sunday, I'm still feeling sore from the crunches and ab wheel rollouts we did then. That was, like, the worst. That hurt.
What was that? Did you get 3 sets? Or did you do all 4 sets?
4.
4, okay. Yeah, 4 sets of 25.
It's terrible.
And the ab wheel rollouts, I think that was 3. You did 3 sets of 10 because that third set was a killer.
Oh yeah, 3 sets of 10.
Yeah.
And then I could say I still hate calf raises as well. They're horrible. Yeah, so calf raises suck. I could say that, but I'm glad, even having like struggled to do them and like hated doing them, that I actually was able to overcome the challenge. And I feel better about myself having overcome that challenge had I not done it and just ran away from it.
Yeah, I would say I'm very proud of him because even when it gets tough, he still pushed himself. He kept on trying. And there were times where he was like, you know, even on the push-ups, right? And you were like, you were struggling, and he draw that energy from somewhere and start like banging out the last 5 push-ups in the set. You know what I mean? But he was like struggling for like the previous 5, like slow, working his way up. Then he's like, nah, the hell with this, and just grind them out. He did that for like the last 2 sets of push-ups.
Yeah.
Even on the inverted rows, same thing. And that's been consistent through all the entire workouts. Because this stuff is all new to him, even not going super heavy, doing things with correct form and taking your time is tougher than just zipping through it quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So he did that, and for me, I always say it's not about you doing it perfectly. It's about those times when you get discomfort, when it becomes uncomfortable for you, it becomes difficult. Do you quit, or do you fight through it, try to get as much as you can out of it? And that's what he did. He's fought through it every step of the way, where I've got to say sometimes, all right, that's enough. And that's how it should be, right? You should want to push yourself and have someone else there that's leading the way, being responsible, looking out for you and say, okay, that's enough for you. You did good. I appreciate your effort. And your effort, it counts. Take a break now. Because we don't want you to hurt yourself. It's one thing to be sore. It's another thing to be injured. So he did an excellent job. Because all this stuff is mental training too. It's not just about the physical hard work. It's about pushing yourself when things become uncomfortable, when it becomes difficult. If you do 100 push-ups straight, then those 100 push-ups mean nothing. If you can knock them out, okay, cool. It's just basic work. If you have to struggle hard to get to that, maybe 110, and the last 10 are the tough ones, okay. You get the most benefit from those last 10 push-ups. So with all this stuff, when he gets tough, he pushes himself to get more and more out of it. So he's gonna feel like amazing results. Like you said, you still feel your abs.
Yeah.
As off of first day of ab work, you know what I mean? They're there. Like me, my still got abs is just covered by a freaking layer of fat right now. That's my goal, is to get rid of that. I get, for myself personally, I got about 20 pounds to lose. He's got some weight to gain. He can stand to, and it'll show up. You know, it'll just come. So, with that all said and done, we're gonna get into the video of what we did over the past week and share a little breakdown of it. If you appreciate what you're watching, please like the channel, subscribe, drop a comment. Any observations? We want to share more content like this for the time he's here, but it'll be between our, like I said, our weight training and actual Muay Thai training, getting in there, mid work, pad work, stuff like that, strategy, basic technique. This page will evolve over time to where I'm including more instructional video, not just stuff like this, maybe a little more documentary style as well. Mm-hmm. So even comments on what you'd like to see. Anything, because it's all brand new right now. The other videos I have on there, those are much older videos. I just left them on, like some sparring footage I've got. I'll look to get some more fight footage on there too. But yeah, comments on the stuff you'd like to see on here, and we're just gonna keep on growing with this. So on that word, appreciate y'all. Hope you enjoy the workouts you watch. Peace.
Ain't stopping.
Stop. Yeah, I know.